wife and Trisha, but there's a Boy Scout coming. So. All right, bring it up.
Sergeant of Arms, Brian O'Neill.
What you say is, would the Sergeant of Arms please start the meeting?
Oh.
Do it again. This is how you learn.
Okay. Sergeant of Arms, would you please start the meeting?
Okay. Could we all stand? Okay. This time we actually do have a flag, a real one.
Perfect.
All right. Let's all say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Padre Bill.
God of mercy, look kindly on your servant Rebecca Boylan, who has set down the burden of her years. As she served you faithfully throughout her life, may you give her the fullness of your peace and joy. We give thanks for knowing and having so much contact with Rebecca, and for her life of service to others and of friendship. That life now caught up in your eternal love. Amen.
Amen. So, why don't we be silent for about a minute for Rebecca? Just passed away a few weeks ago. Okay. And for some light entertainment, go ahead, Jerry.
Following that, thought of the day. 98% of the adults in this country are decent, hardworking, honest Americans. It's the other lousy 2% that gets off with publicity. But then we elect them. Really.
All right. Okay, kid, I'll sit down now.
Was that Joe Biden we're talking about?
No, I think we were talking about somebody else. Okay. So, first one is.
Okay, we'd like to introduce our guest here today, Mr. Paul Esteban. And our speaker, Livio Zozzoli. Is that right? And then you are
Silvia. His wife.
So,
We also like to recognize 3 brand new members, 2 of which couldn't make it today, Frank Jewett, Paul Ostrowski. We do have Fred Brew here.
all right.
Fred, could you give us a 30-minute bio of Fred Brew?
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
I actually prepared an hour-long one. Thank you, Dave. Thanks, everybody. I know I've seen most of you before. I've been at these events informally for the last couple of years, and Dave finally talked me into joining. For me, I have 2 daughters that'll both be at college this fall, so the timing is good. I live in Almaden Valley with my wife and 2 daughters. Have lived in San Jose for probably about 30 years now, in California since high school. Moved out from the East Coast, born in DC. Lived in Germany as a kid, child of the Cold War. My dad was with the CIA, keeping the Russians out of Radio Free Europe. So, and I'm solid San Jose in California now. So looking forward to working with you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Fred.
Did you just answer? Okay, good.
Okay, so
I have some guests.
Mr. Baker, is there a guest with you today?
No.
No. Okay. And then.
No, it's good. He's a guest.
Ken, he's saying that you're a guest. We haven't seen you for a little while.
Who's feeding you this material?
Should have changed it.
Okay.
No.
Okay,
so I have two guests. One is my wife Terry, who's online. Terry, can you say hi?
She's muted.
I know she's muted.
Hello, everyone.
Hi,
Terry.
Right there.
And then there's Patricia.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Okay, and then Jesse's like putting her fake picture up there, and there's a mystery person. I don't know.
Yeah, Ken.
Okay, now we should do announcements.
Okay, we're ready for announcements.
Absolutely.
Ready, Brian?
Yep. You want to talk about the baseball game?
Yeah, we have a baseball game coming up, and who wants to go over that? Who's got that information?
Jesse or Chris Chavez?
Who's coordinating that?
Well, I think September 3rd, in the afternoon, we're gonna have tickets. We still need to figure out a price, set a price. Ken's gonna help us with that. And should be a good time. It's gonna be at the San Jose, on Center Road, the B Stadium, where it used to be the B Stadium, now it's San Jose Giants. So, yeah, it should be a good time. So
I heard
hopefully everybody can attend.
I heard the tickets were $100 a piece, but if you bought them.
Yeah, I got them for 12, so yeah.
But if you bought them today, they were down to 10.
But we still have some.
Okay, do you have anything else on the screen or that?
And there's going to be fireworks after, so if you plan on staying for that, then make sure that you know, because they won't start till 9:30.
Our next board meeting is on Zoom August 10th at 6 p.m. Then on August 12th, you want to go over the Ducks Unlimited a little bit?
Yeah, so August 12th, this is, most everyone here, Fred's already graciously accepted to help out. This is a fundraiser that we do. We are basically catering a fundraiser for another organization. So they're going to pay us to cook and serve them and clean up. So normally it's pretty lucrative for the amount of time and effort that we put in, and it's pretty fun. So this year we're having it at the Horseman's. So it's super easy, everyone. We've done 1 million parties there. So please make sure you go on Evite, RSVP, and then I'll get a sign-up sheet. And if you just let me know, like I know you want to come early. So actually John is here because we're going to go do a walkthrough and try to figure out where everything's going to be. So again, just your help. I mean, certainly it'll be a lot easier. And then I'm going to ask Trung at the YMCA Fill Out Barbecue. So I think we're good. Okay? Yeah,
Thank you, Ken.
Absolutely.
And then on August 5th, we have Julie Clough come in. Is that going to be in person and Zoom, Brian?
It's going to be Zoom.
Just Zoom only?
She's coming in from Zoom, so we're doing a hybrid meeting.
Oh, I see. Okay, got it.
She's zooming, we're not.
Right.
Okay, and then on August 12th, we're dark because of Ducks Unlimited. Thank you, Ken.
Absolutely. So it'll count as your meeting.
Right. Okay.
And then we had our Boy Scout is.
Yeah. There's supposed to be a Boy Scout calling in. He wants to do his Eagle Project. And that's it. Just in time.
Food looks like it's coming.
Cool.
It is. The only entree that I know belongs to somebody is this one, because we spoke about it.
Oh, gee.
So I guess we're gonna interrupt for a second and kind of auction some stuff off, you don't mind?
Burger with French fries.
This house burger? Yeah.
Okay.
This is supposed to be cheese.
Oh, okay. French dip sandwiches.
One here.
Philly cheesesteak?
You had a French dip?
Is it French?
Fred, help him out. Fred, help him out.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, right now we're getting our meals and we're waiting for our Boy Scout to come for those who are in Zoom land.
I'm gonna go sit back down. okay?
Is there anybody who didn't get a chance to order with the group that wanted to add something on? Yeah, the sound's coming right now. That's the last thing out right now.
Can we get a couple of napkins and?
Yeah. I got some.
I had a call. Is that yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Salt, and you want to order French?
Yeah.
No, he had French dip. He had French dip.
Yeah, right here.
There should be one more French dip, right?
Can you double check that paper on that? You sure you want this one back? Should be 9 all day. 9. I had 9 entrees that I copied.
Okay,
Or 9.
I added 2 more. Yeah, he had a Cobb salad and he had a French dip.
Okay, let me add that on. Right. You added it to the email or?
Yeah, the last email I sent you.
Oh, okay, I thought I had the last one, so sorry, I missed it. This time when I got the initial one.
Okay.
People know.
What's that one?
Could you give it to the speaker? Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Brad.
So you didn't, what would you choose, mine or no?
And me.
Burger, no bun?
Who, you had a Cobb? Yeah. All right, this is our first time. Did you get yours?
And then a Cobb salad. I didn't, I'll go talk to him.
Okay, and he, because you guys ordered late,
Yeah,
well,
we did.
you ordered late.
Brian, I keep.
No, I gave it to them because they were showed up in orders, so they're gonna.
What's that?
Yeah. No, I
Hey, and half a.
I had late breakfast.
Although you won't have any days, yeah.
Yeah, just all.
This is part of the thing.
Okay. For your enjoyment, we got an Eagle Scout from Troop 294. Hello, Jonah.
There he is.
Hi, Jonah. Can you hear us?
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi, John.
Hello. Just one moment. I'm going to be joining on my second machine too. It's where I have my presentation. Just let me get all that situated. You guys might have to let me. You guys have to. You guys might have to let someone else in. So just.
Oh, that's okay.
All right.
We're all eating right now, so, you know, you can take your time.
All good. Please
Not
take
too
your
much time, though.
Yeah, it's saying the meeting host. Oh, there you go. All right. Perfect. All right, cool. So my second machine's on there. It's called a 2. Yeah. Okay. So whenever you guys are ready, I'm ready.
I'm ready right now.
You're ready right now? Beautiful. Okay. So let me get my screen up and running. I don't know how to do that. And here we go. Sure. Okay. So, 1 second. There you go. Okay, you guys are in the presenter view. Okay, so first of all, thank you guys for your time. Today, I have a presentation for you guys about possible funding for my Eagle project that I'm going to be doing. Excuse the date, that was from last week. But just a quick agenda, what we're going to be going over. We're going to be going over the introduction, a little bit about myself, a little bit about the project, and then kind of like what I would require, I guess, funding wise, and then just a period of any sort of questions or discussion you guys may require. So beginning with a little bit about myself. Hi, my name is Jonah Oshana, for you guys who don't know. I'm a junior at Leland High School, and I've been in the Boy Scout program since 2009. So I started in the Cub Scouts. I plan to hopefully be an Eagle Scout by the end of 2021. And just a little bit about myself and some of my interests. I'm avid at speech and debate at Leland. I've been a member of the club for, I guess, going on two and a half years now. I have a really good, just my favorite subject in school, history. It's one of my favorite subjects. It's just something I'm really passionate about. Really love computers. I was on robotics teams all throughout middle school. STEM is something I want to be going into kind of in the future. And I'm also a member of the track and field team at Leland. So yeah, there's a picture of me back in, oh man, I want to say like third grade, but yeah, I've been in this for a long time, and it's kind of sad that I'm going towards the end of my journey, but scouting has been really important to me, and it's been something that's really truly made me the person I am today. And it's really exciting to be able to finally get to this point of getting to an Eagle project, and I'm really happy that I'm kind of at this point. So going into my project a little bit, what I'm planning to do. So I'm planning to serve Bright Star Preschool. They're a preschool, I don't know if any of you guys are familiar, out by Cesar. And I've known the administration staff there pretty much since the school was started. They started it, I want to say 6-7 years ago. It's been a while. But yeah, the lady who runs it, she's over here in the corner here. Her name's Jacqueline. I've known her forever. She's been a really good friend to my family. I pretty much know all these guys, all of their instructors. We have Jacqueline, Alicia, Justin, all these people I've known throughout like my childhood life, and they've always been there for me. And they've always been like really instrumental in kind of like my upbringing and stuff, because I'd spend a lot of weekends with them, like at family gatherings and stuff, and just friend gatherings. But yeah, they've been really good. They've been really good to me, and they're really good to these students here. What I see at Bright Star is I see lots of just like really valuable teaching. These people have like, it's a really hard job being a teacher, and it's even harder being a teacher for kids at that age group. And they do an amazing job. I really love the work that they do there. They are a registered nonprofit. And yeah, and one of the ways I'm planning to serve them is by building a playhouse for the students there. So their playhouse that they have currently, it's not even a playhouse. It's like one of those like pre-built ones you guys can buy at Costco. I'm sure if you guys are familiar or have kids at home. And it's kind of just been sitting there for 4 years. No one really goes in it. It's all like dirty and gross. And what we want to do is take that, it's like little like plastic pre-built, and make it into this thing over here. This is like a concept of what I'm going for. This is actually like a real life version of the design that I'm going off of. So we're gonna be going something like this, probably a little bit of painting done there. But yeah, I want to build this for the kids there. And for this project, I would require about 10 to 12 people, I want to say, like just hands-on wise, because I myself, as the Eagle Scout like candidate, I can't touch anything, right? So I'd need like 10 to 12 people to work on it. And this would be a mix of both scouts and adults to handle power tools and things like that. And then I assume it would take around 3 days to complete this project. Although I did go to an Eagle project recently where we had about 7 scouts. We built something like this. It was like it was like a sort of home structure, but it was like for animals. So, and that only took like 2 days. So I'm thinking 3 days is a pretty good estimate. And going on next to my funding request for this project, I would need about $1,400 like total budget. This is including, by the way, I just sectioned off 20% of what I would originally need, just as like extra money in case like something goes wrong. So this is like a 20%. So I believe it's like $200 of this, or $200 to $300 of this $1,400 total budget is just extra in case like something were to go wrong. But yeah, my planned funding, which I already have set away, is about $300. And then the remaining funding needed, excuse this typo, it's not 900, it's 1100 as of right now. That's what I would necessarily need. And for, just so you guys can look at the costs, this is what I'm going for. This is like my essential material shopping list. It's pretty much a bunch of materials. We got all the types of wood that we would need. I've gone to different places. I've looked at Home Depot, although they have like a pretty bad like lumber shortage right now, so they wouldn't have all the parts I needed. Lowe's has a pretty good selection. I plan to also go to Economy Lumber to find like certain parts. And I believe Economy Lumber would give me a 20% discount. So I will be going there soon. But yeah, this is pretty much a shopping list of like the things I would need. Tools, I believe, would be given by either myself, because I have a lot of these myself, or the adults that are helping volunteer with the project. So I think tools are covered, but pretty much this main shopping list is going to be the bulk of my costs, along with things like food for the scouts that are working there, any shade structures if we need, transportation and delivery of the materials to the site, And again, I don't think I've said this already, but all materials will be built on site. So pretty much I'm going to have everything shipped there to the school, and then we'll all go there and build it. So there isn't that much in terms of transportation other than from the store to the build site. And yeah, so this is that's pretty much what all this money is going towards. And then here's another kind of just open concept layout so you guys can kind of understand like what I'm trying to build here. So this here, again, is like the kind of like the design, right? This is what we're going off of. And this is hopefully something we're going to make it look, like. Notice how it doesn't have a floor here. What we're going to do actually is put in a floor. So I think that's something that the teachers wanted or requested. And yeah, this is pretty much what we're going for in the playground of their preschool. And it's a pretty tall structure. It's about like 5 feet tall about, but yeah, definitely good enough for any preschooler going into. So yeah, this is what we're going for. This is what hopefully I can achieve for this preschool. And with that, I believe we're at the end of my presentation. Thank you guys for your time. And if you have any questions, please fire away.
On this project that you're gonna, or is it gonna be 3 consecutive days, or gonna alternate days, or what?
Okay, so yeah, amazing question. I've already narrowed down a few possible dates for when this project would go down. So I'm looking towards the month of September, right? Because I need adequate time to purchase materials, have everything sent there, also gain scout interest. That's one of the phases of my project. I need to have scouts who are willing to volunteer for those days. So I'm looking to build in the month of September, and I'm looking for it to be from the weekend of September 24th to the September 25th and 26th are going to be my main 2 days that I have like the most people that are available. And then if I don't get it done in those 2 days, I would do the next weekend after. So it would be 2 days and then one day after that, because it is during the school year, so we can't necessarily work during the weekdays. But yeah, that's what I plan to get this project worked out.
Very good, thank you.
Have you talked to Connie Lumber about any possible discounts on the product that you can?
Yes. So what I have done is in both of my so for the Eagle project to get even like for even me to get approved to be doing any of this, right? I need to speak to my I have an Eagle board, so pretty much a board of adults who are all Eagle Scouts, and they help you and they tell you, okay, this is what you need for your presentation before they kind of approve it. And then I also have to go talk to a council representative from our local council to kind of make sure everything's squared away and you can go and proceed with everything. And in both of those meetings, I was told that Economy Lumber actually is run by an Eagle Scout or former Eagle, or yeah, is run by an Eagle Scout. So he gives you a 20% discount pretty much off of like anything you need if it's for an Eagle Scout project. So yeah, we would be able to get that discount from Economy Lumber, and I will be going to speak to them in this next coming week.
John Saunders.
Thank you.
Of course.
Brian, Bill.
One of our guests had, I thought, a good question. Do you need any type of building permit for this?
Nope. This is actually part of my Eagle application for the project. So don't need any types of permits because all of it's on private property, and we have any and all permissions given by the owners of the property. It's those people that I mentioned in my presentation. They own it. I've known them forever. They're like, whatever you need to do, please do it on our property. There's no issue. We don't need any permits.
So I had a question about longevity. Will this be permanently mounted to the ground, and then are you going to seal the wood, and then is there a roof?
So yes, there is a roof. It is meant to be, it's not necessarily meant to be, I guess, like mounted to the ground with like any sort of like sealant or cement or anything like that. But, you know, it's a pretty reasonable structure. It's not going to blow away in the wind. No one can really take it. It's not something necessarily you can pick up. It will have a floor too. So I think that actually will be, no, that won't be mounted to the ground. It's just going to be built in one spot and it's going to stay in that spot. Nobody can really take it. It's going to be, all fenced in. It's meant to be there permanently, at least as permanent as it'll last. Hopefully, if we build it good enough, it'll last there permanently. But yeah, that's what we're going for. And yes, it has a roof in this design. Should be, we're building it to be totally weatherproof. So shouldn't necessarily be dealing with any sort of like weather issues or collapse issues or anything like that. But yeah, that's what we're going for.
I have a question. When are you going to turn 18?
When am I going to turn 18? So I just turned 17 last week. So on July 19th, 2022, I will be 18.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Too many people were talking.
No, July 19th, 2022.
I only raised that because I had a son that had a problem with that.
Oh, yeah. Nah, I mean, you know, you gotta
My
go.
son missed the date.
Really?
Got it. Okay.
All
Any
right.
other questions?
Is there any other questions? Okay,
Trisha in the chat over here is saying that it doesn't matter if it's on private property, there are building regulations regardless. This doesn't meet any sort of, it doesn't impede on any sort of regulations, because what Bright Star has been doing is they built like a whole like play structure on their, they built a whole play structure on their property, and it's no issue. We've had like, they've done multiple like renovation projects and stuff like that. And considering that they have like, it's kind of like it's not like, it doesn't affect anything else. It doesn't require any sort of like, regulation or approval from a government entity. So yeah, we have everything we need to start building.
It's also my understanding, because it's not mounted to the ground, it's not considered a permanent
It's not
structure.
mounted to the ground. It's purely just like it's basically decoration almost. That's like legally, right? Yeah.
Because of the size. What physical size footprint?
Physical size of the house. So going back here, I don't know if you can see, kind of goes like in inches. It's going to be about, I want to say about like 5 feet wide, or sorry, 5 feet long, about 3 feet wide. And then it's, I think, what is it? Yeah, 55 to 64 inches tall. Or wait, no, not 64 inches tall. So it's, I think feet wise, it's about, it's like 5'3" and then 5.5 height. So that's what we're gonna be going for. Perfect to fit any sort of preschooler. That's for sure.
Cool.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, wait, on one more note, is Miss Brasher still running speech and debate?
Oh man, you bet. Yeah, Ms. Brasher still is in speech and debate. She will be there for a much longer time to come. Yeah, I love Ms. Brasher. Actually, believe it or not, I think I have a letter from her here on my desk. But yeah, Ms. Brasher is still in speech and debate. At that picture of the very tournament I showed, just spent like a lot of time talking to her. She's still there. We love her. She's pretty much a treasure. Did you have a child in speech and debate?
No, well, we run a speech contest, and there were several students from Leland each year, and that's who we would work with.
Oh yeah.
Miss Brasher.
Yep, she's still there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so Jonah, I will let you know, but we will have an endowment meeting, rather quickly, so you can get moving on this project.
All right, awesome. Thank you guys so much for your time. If there's no other questions, you guys all enjoy your meal. I see you guys enjoying something at a little restaurant over there.
Okay. One last thing too. Can you send me your presentation too?
Yes, I'll send you my presentation, and I'll also send you my Eagle workbook. It has like it has every project information, all the contact information on beneficiaries. It kind of goes like into like a lot more detail than this presentation did. So I'll send you that too.
Okay, great.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for your time. If there's
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Thank you. All right, y'all. Have a great rest of your day.
You as
All
well.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was great talking to you. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so now we're gonna have our speaker. And I need to get PowerPoint up here, so just give me a few minutes.
No, sure.
Yeah. One understanding was it's not really around because it's just.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Everyone in mass.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's why we get you sick.
No, more likely to pass it if you've already been vaccinated. Just listening to CDC. So they told
Why
me.
don't you just get vaccinated?
I don't want to do this. I don't want to die.
You're not gonna like.
The vaccines makes you lose your memory. You feel like you have short-term memory loss around here, right? I know you do. So. It's the vaccine.
I think I do.
I was looking at yesterday.
It's good.
I don't think it changed. But the location, so much stuff just. There's one thing there.
The Palo Alto. What's that? Palo Alto. Yeah.
That's a good one. Palo Alto is really good.
Yeah.
You drive from the Four Seasons and drive over to the fish market.
Yeah. The Four Seasons.
There is.
I know. I used to drop off guys after work at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I used to be like a really low scale apartment complex with like 20-foot high razor wire on top. It was insane. You felt like you're gonna get murdered just dropping people out of their house. And now it's a Four Seasons. Give me a break.
So how you want to do this? Yeah, do you want me to do those first? Okay.
Yeah, I know, I went on the opposite side. Salad, cheeseburger, French fries, sure, bring it up.
So how should we put this here? Pardon? So he could stay here or here?
It's gonna stand up. Yeah, so then you just go on the other side, as long as you can move your camera.
Oh, okay. So move the camera to show him.
If you just stand here, you just want to move the camera to the other corner of the table.
All right. So that's fine. You stand here. I know this is all, we're all trying new things.
Oh my God. Eventually bed up on it.
Okay. Can you tell me what this looks like?
Yeah, maybe we just gotta tilt it a little bit upward.
Upward?
That's actually perfect,
Perfect.
right?
Yeah, except for a pros.
Yeah, there we go.
So we have two speakers today. Actually, Esteban, I don't know if you remember when they last, Livio had a whole group talk to us about the X-ray machine they wanted to buy, and they did a whole presentation, and we saw all of it, and the endowment has given them $2,250, and now they got all the money they need to get this X-ray machine. That was what, around 75 grand?
It's up to 83,000.
83, you know,
Nice.
prices go up.
Yeah.
So, so why don't you guys, Livio is going to be, he's sort of like Hong Ling. When she was over there speaking, she's a district governor nominee. He's a district governor nominee. She's going to meet with us tonight so they can like get together. But he's going to be district governor of Bolivia in 24. So Esteban is from the East Fresno Rotary Club. And he's kind of, it looks like he's done a lot to sponsor and bring this about. So Esteban, take it away. And then just tell me and I'll tap it and do whatever you want me to do.
Yeah, so The primary reason for Livio's presence here is to essentially thank everybody for participation. We had a number of clubs participating, district and so forth and so on. But I'm going to let him say a few words, and I'll be translating for everybody else. Then I'll do the presentation in English.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, sí.
Gracias por dejarme estar presente hoy acá. Muchas veces nosotros colaboramos con proyectos en todas partes del mundo y no conocemos la cara de a quienes estamos colaborando.
So he wants to thank everybody for the opportunity to be here today. They do work on international projects regularly. They do a lot of work at that level, but it's very unusual that they will have the opportunity to meet in person with the people supporting the project. So he's really delighted to be here.
Vine a visitar a mi amigo Esteban Fresno y me pareció una excelente oportunidad de venir a visitarlos y agradecerles a ustedes.
Yeah, so there's my wife, myself, Silvia, and there's been some opportunities to go around and visit some of the clubs that participated throughout the platform.
Te quiero agradecer a Brian, que siempre estuvo en contacto permanente con nosotros y muy pendiente translator and secretary.
Yes. Pardon? Oh, you want to do the? Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Como se dice, you're doing a lousy job.
No, para que se sienta bien.
So their club, Grigotá Rotary Club, they realized it was absolutely necessary to implement some kind of a program to provide protection to, PPE equipment to the doctors. They didn't have it, right? And so they launched this program to facilitate equipment for 16 health centers, 12 communities, over 400 doctors were protected, right? And next. So this is a list of all the hospitals that they provided supplies to. These are some of the photographs, right? What's also interesting is that all this equipment is reusable, right? And eventually recyclable. It takes an extra expense and it's a different grade, but it was absolutely critical because it's a one-shot deal that they have, right? So they make it right. Yeah, just a few photographs of the same thing. These are, all the documentation from the various hospitals. They were receiving the equipment and such. So it's all documented. And these are all the clubs that participate in districts throughout the world, right? So multiple clubs here from Bolivia, throughout Bolivia, right? But you have District 5230 from California. You've got, here's East Fresno Rotary. There's clubs from Chile, Argentina, Switzerland, Ecuador. And, that's the way, they really have to do it. They have to reach out to multiple countries around the world. Australia? Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
So I see the Rotary Foundation there. Was that all matching funds, grants?
Livio, hubo matching funds on this?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
But from the Rotary Foundation or from la Fundación Rotaria o de los distritos?
Una subvención global, participan clubes, distritos y la Fundación Rotaria.
Ok, o sea, lo hicieron como una fundación global.
Es una subvención global, totalmente.
Okay, yeah.
Y por ser que tenía el nombre de COVID, la aprobaron en tiempo récord.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I didn't remember that. They actually did a global round, right? So there's funds, cash contributions from clubs, there's district funds as well, and then the World Fund contributed as well. And it was approved in a very expeditious way because of the need and the circumstances.
So I had a question about that. How receptive with local government and the hospitals for this equipment or for the items. And then what's the level of fraud from the government?
Okay. ¿Qué tan receptivo fueron los gobiernos locales para este programa si tuvieron la copia que se hiciera? Y si hubo algún problema de fraude o algún otro problema.
La realidad es que en Bolivia se pidió sin equipamiento de nada, ¿no? Entonces, y la realidad es que tampoco se podía importar porque Brasil de Sudamérica, Estados Unidos y no sé qué dos países de Europa ocuparon toda la compra internacional, todo el mercado internacional y absorbieron toda la compra de insumos. Entonces, todos estos equipamientos fueron hechos a manos. O sea, se compró el material y se lo cosió uno a uno, claro, y se hizo el logo de Rotary. Y obviamente, para toda subvención global, hay un memorándum de acuerdo donde el hospital te solicita y es responsable por la administración y todo, ¿no? Pero
el gobierno no participó en nada.
No. El gobierno quiso participar, pero nosotros no lo dejamos. Nosotros entregamos directamente los rotarios al hospital.
Okay, let me try to translate this. A lot there. Yeah, you got it, right?
I got half.
Okay, two things. Government was not part of this. And Rotary purposely implemented that in such a way, right? Secondly, hospitals in South, they run out of supplies right away. They were not available in a hurry. And they reached out to other places like Brazil or some other where they had already purchased all kinds of stuff, and there were no supplies available. Right? And so they worked it out so that they bought the raw material and they actually made the stuff on site. Now, given that it's a global grant program, they had to have a memorandum of understanding with the host upfront before this was submitted to RI. So all that was worked out with the hospitals, and the government was pretty much out of it.
Okay, that's good.
This, government fees and whatever it is, and that's not out, right? And so the government can basically waive that if they want, but then it becomes their project, right? You have to basically hand it over to them. You have no control over it. Right? Of course, they'll take credit for it, and then you're out. Right? Okay, so that was pretty much on that one. The next one is the X-ray equipment project that we're doing, and in a nutshell, there's about 23,000 people in the immediate, close vicinity to the hospital. There's about 88,000 people in the whole geographic area where they have no access to X-ray equipment. So imagine, diagnostics or treatments, it can be really, really bad. This is the gross domestic product per capita in some countries, so you can compare, Bolivia, $3,600, and Puerto Rico, $31,000, Chile, Argentina, $15,000. See how big of a gap there is, right? Mm-hmm. So, next picture. And this is also how for public health spending, right? So you can see the U.S. at the top. We're close to 10 grand pretty much, right, per year. And then you can see here again, Argentina, Chile, about 1,000 bucks, 800. And then for Bolivia, it's only $151 per person, right? So it's a huge gap. Of course, they have to reach out to non-profits and worldwide organizations and look for every help they can get, right? Because the government doesn't really do much. That's just a little bit of a geographic presentation here. Thanks. Okay. So here's what happens, right? many of these communities, when people have a need for X-rays, equipment, diagnosis and such, they go to these health centers, which, don't think of a modern hospital or anything, right? I mean, this is just a structure somehow with a roof on it, and there's some doctor inside, and that's pretty much it. They have some basic stuff, but pretty much, they right away know, okay, you're gonna need X-rays, so you have to go to the other hospital in Santa Cruz that can be, 2 hours, 4 hours, away, 5 hours, and about 20% of people don't ever make it to the hospital, right? So they end up either dying or mistreated or with a permanent disability, whatever it may be, right? So it can be pretty bad. So yeah, this sort of illustrates a little bit. This is the hospital, the Florida hospital, where we're going to be installing the equipment, right? And so these other satellite units are basically, it's like primary, emergency kit, right? They have a Band-Aid, they have something. That's about it. So that's what happens at this level, right? Then they go to this level here, which is this place here, and there's going to be a doctor that's going to, take a look at you, and they're going to have some stuff to help you out. But then if you need X-ray, again, you have to drive all the way to here, in Santa Cruz, which could be 2, 4, 5 hours away, right? So next. And so that's what happens, right? Perhaps a simple fracture can end up, like in a permanent disability because it's not done correctly, and then, your leg is twisted or whatever. So next, yeah. So this is just a breakdown, a summary for different health conditions that can be diagnosed, through X-ray, and they usually get about 2,200 people per year that have to be referred to these other health centers. And again, 80% will make it, but there's always a 20% that won't even get there, right? Yeah, again, just basically a breakdown on multiple diseases, trauma, and conditions that can be diagnosed with X-ray. So over. Yeah, again, summarizing, here's some of the numbers that people have direct assets and the area of influence. Now, for sustainability, see, there's a number of things that have to happen. There's a memorandum of understanding between parties, and of course, there's a host club in Bolivia. There's an international sponsor, the International Rotary, here in the U.S. There's a hospital where they actually have to build a room to house this equipment, right? So that's also, there's a memorandum with them. And then there's the hospital itself, where they have to provide the training and the people to run and operate the thing, right? So these are all the various agreements between government entities and so forth and so on. Right?
So is this an MRI or an X-ray machine?
It's an X-ray machine.
Is it the modern type that doesn't use film?
It's a modern type, and it has some capabilities to share the information online.
Digital.
Digital, yeah. Yes, with doctors, in other hospitals and such, yeah. So, next one. And this is a breakdown of all the funding, right, from all the various clubs. And, probably won't go through all the numbers, but I can read for you, right? This contribution from the Summit Para Club, that's Club of Origin in Bolivia. There's Grigotá, that's their Rotary Club. And then they have district designated funds from their district, right? Then we have, this is a club from Brazil. There's some other districts that contributed. There's clubs from Canada, St. Catherine Races from Canada near Niagara Falls. Israel, Rotary, Dustin, Santana here in California, down south, right? Almaden Valley.
We need to give $1,000 more to beat that East Fresno club.
Look like off 1,000.
Right?
Yeah. Fort Worth, Sacramento. Districts here, Niagara on the Lake, Pacific Rock, Carmel by the Sea, around the Tierra. then District 5230 matched all the funds from all the participating clubs within the district, right? And by celebrating us, it's not right. This is all the cash contributions, and then there's a well fund, and then there's a breakdown for a total of $83,000. So that's a part of the Rotary.
So is there someone that is there that knows how to use the equipment? Is that coming up, like we have to train folks, or how does that work?
Yeah, so ¿cómo es el entrenamiento?
El entrenamiento del equipo, sobre el manejo del equipo, lo da la empresa que nos va a hacer el soporte técnico, ¿sí? O sea, todo lo que se refiere a manejo del equipo, pero no a interpretación de imágenes, porque eso la comuna tiene la obligación de contratar tanto el personal, ¿cómo se llama? El radiólogo, como el radiólogo, un traumatólogo y el personal de mantenimiento, lo cual, como pasamos hoy, ya está incluido dentro del presupuesto de la gestión. ¿Sí? Pero el entrenamiento sobre el uso de la máquina la da una empresa que da la garantía del equipo. Si bien el equipo es americano, la garantía la da una empresa en Bolivia que se encarga de mantenimiento y todo por un plazo mínimo de 5 años.
So there's two levels of training, right? And, there's a company in Bolivia where their line of business is X-ray, equipment, sales, maintenance, and so forth and so on. And they actually selected the equipment that's going to be purchased here in the U.S. and shipped over to Bolivia. And something that's compatible with what they use in service, right? So when they do the installation, they also train the people who are going to be using it for, how the thing works and so forth and so on. Now, there's a different training level that has to do with people who are going to be, reading the images and what do they mean. And so there's a radiologist and so forth that has to be hired by the hospital, and that's part of their agreement to do that.
Okay. So there are people that want to live in that small community that can be radiologists and all that.
Yeah, and there's doctors, we do our Zoom meetings and interviews, interacting with doctors and other times.
Okay. Yeah.
I just wanted to let everybody know, our club contributed cash, but I also presented this to the rural community service of the 6 other clubs we work with.
Yeah.
And I got, first of all, there are a number of good projects presented, so it's competitive.
Yeah.
But the group came back with, I think it was 3 objections. One, what was, how did we know there was quality of capability to read the X-rays? Second, how about the strength of the internet connection?
Yeah.
And the third was training of local people to use the equipment. And I knocked out the first 2 by when you look at the credentials of the hospitals in Santa Cruz, it's obvious you've got 3 or 4 that have major X-ray capabilities. The second, things like Backpackers Guide and so forth, had comments on the internet connection from the site, showing that it was strong enough, except for festivals. And there are 2 festivals we have done there. But the third one, we had 2 people who were medical professionals on this team, and they were concerned they found no reference to money for training of the local people to use or read the X-rays. And I couldn't get around that one. And so that was why we didn't give you any PDF as well, or give you funding from the other clubs.
Yeah, and that's, I'll be totally candid with you, right? Our own club, East Rotary, right? When it came down to signing the memorandum of understanding, right? Our president, we're going through COVID. She's a younger person, not much experience, global grants. There's an attorney on the board, right? And they look at this memorandum, and there's a lot of red flags that we shouldn't be signing this memorandum, right? I read the Spanish version, that's the match the English version. From Rotary International, right?
Yeah.
So it just comes down to a point where you have to trust people. And, you know, growing up in Argentina, having spent time in Bolivia, I know the club, I know what they do, I've seen the project they do, and I just basically have to, you know, talk our club into supporting it. You know?
Yeah, I was frustrated because it was such a thorough and well presented one, and I couldn't get it approved because it was a competing project.
Yeah, no, that's all fine, and I understand, you know, and again, we have the same thing. I'll give you another thing, right? When we started this project, right, our club has $3,000 budgeted for the international project, right? And I'm not the international service chair, right? I'm the club member, right? So our service chair for international project as well, we're going to allocate $1,500 to this project, right? Because the likelihood of this project being completed is very low, right? You're starting out with $1,500 to get $23,000. Well, you know, things builds up, okay, now there's another 1,500. So it's basically doing the work, you know? And there's an endless number of Rotarians with good hearts around the world.
Sorry, I helped.
So what's the infrastructure in terms of like, is there fire departments, do you have an ambulance, like is that all there? I mean, in terms of provided by the government, or how does that work?
Tiene ambulancia, pero no hay bombero.
Okay, no firemen.
No volunteer, no?
There's ambulance.
Oh, ambulance. Okay.
Two.
Two. That's good.
Any other further questions? If not, we need to wrap things up.
Well, thank you.
So if you guys could wait up here for a minute. All right. We got a little, oh, what happened to that one? I have another one. I got it. These are one for you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
And one for you. For you? Oh, really? Thank you.
Thank you.
And then this is
Nice.
for everyone.
Thank you. You want to get a picture?
Yeah.
Get a picture. Get in the middle. Closers up.
I would love to. We'll get one of the three of you now.
Grigotá.
And this is.
Decirle que yo soy nacido en 1929, entonces creo que es una conexión.
Well, Livio, he was born in 1969, so there's a good connection with the club.
Hi. You're 1 year older than me. 1970.
You're younger than my children.
Most people are.
Thank you. All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Banker, would you go up there and just relive this handoff of the check for Relay for Life? No, you just handed it to you. Will you go up there? Okay. Can you get up, John? And
You know, John's got a bad wrist and a bad.
I have a bad.
And a bad phone.
Give that back to me, and I'll hand it to you.
Now you pick up walking through with them.
All right, there we go.
Thank you very much.
Okay?
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Baker.
For those of you that don't know, I would like to thank you very much for supporting the Relay for Life. Most people, if not everybody in this room, have somebody that's been affected by cancer, or know somebody that has issues with cancer. And this is going to the Cancer Society. Our club's been supporting it for several years now. They couldn't have the actual relay because of COVID this year, but thanks very much for supporting it.
Okay, if that's it, no further action?
Thank you, Brian.
What?
Thank you very much for coming to the city.
She was.
I